team comes in that has one of the highest team values per capita, as in the value of the players, where they play their football, how they're seen in the world, how they're rated.
Two of the brightest young talents in world football, in Kenan Yildiz and Ada Güler.
Yeah, Ada Güler and Kenan Yildiz.
And also the mixture of experience with Hakan
Çalhanoğlu. Yes. Yeah. And you think of a team like that, everyone was like, oh, their group is easy.
Yes.
So every pundit expected them to cakewalk the thing. Instead, they are now confidently out of the World Cup.
Without a goal. Curaçao was done better than them.
That's wild, man.
Haiti is doing better than them. Cape Verde is doing better than them. The thing is,
that's wild. You do realize, like, if you think about like their story, I was thinking about like Turkey is basically the reflecting pool of national teams right now.
The reflecting pool, the DC reflecting pool.
Yeah, the DC reflecting pool.
Okay, explain this, elaborate.
It was released to much fanfare.
Okay, yes.
There was a massive overhaul.
Yes.
Tons of money was pumped into it. They made this grand announcement with extreme expectations. And much sooner than people predicted, the paint started peeling off.
Things fell apart, yes.
And it fell apart and it became one of the biggest disasters we've ever seen. In a space that really no one...
The reflecting pool,
It would have been one thing if they said, the reflecting pool after like 2 years. It happened in a comically short amount of time. That's what happened with Turkey.
It would be great if also Turkey had Abraham Lincoln just looking on very disappointed.
Just judging from his seat.
I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. No, the thing is, I'll say this about Turkey. So I've had a chance, and probably you have too. I've had a chance to visit Turkey, to visit Istanbul 3 times.
You have?
Yes.
Why is your hair still like this?
They went like, we are miracle workers, but come on. We can only do so much. Even the Turkish doctors went like,
within
no.
the realm. It has to be within the realms of like science.
Yes, we don't make wonders. Yeah, no, but the thing is, I've had a chance to visit Istanbul 3 times on a cruise, by the way. And every time I visited Istanbul, I feel it's like the Brazil of Europe. The fans breathe, live, and sleep football. They have the 3 biggest clubs, Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, and Besiktas.
Yeah.
And the fans, they're very passionate people, fiercely passionate. So I feel for them because this is very devastating. This is traumatic for them. They came in, they thought they would win, they got embarrassed. And if you've also had, like, we grew up watching European football. If you've had a chance to watch like those Turkish games, when let's say an English team visits, God,
massive.
I remember Man United visiting,
visiting
Galatasaray, the Al Samien Stadium. And it's basically welcome to hell. That's what they call it.
Yep.
And when you would watch like teams go to the where Fenerbahce used to play, it was called the Sakuro Sarokoglu. Those stadiums really feel like, I wouldn't even know how to describe them because an American wouldn't get it. They feel like you've entered, when they say the fan is the 12th man, it genuinely feels, it's like Anfield, but with flares.
But why didn't that translate into the World Cup?
No, so they have, and this is why
0 goals.
So this is why I feel for them, because the 2002 team was their golden generation before this golden generation. And if you remember that team, they had Hakan Şükür in front. They had Hasan Sasumi, Davala.
Yes.
They had like Tugay and Emre and
my question to you is what happened now?
So when they came in, they thought, I think they were shocked by their. Also, they don't have a natural number 9. I think they're struggling.
But Joe, we're at a stage where we're just asking about a singular goal.
No, I'll say this about the World Cup. Remember, every team that shows up at the World Cup, like, there are no pushovers at the World Cup. That might sound weird when you've seen some of the scorelines.
But people forget that every team beats a bunch of teams to get here. Like Italy is not in the World Cup
because of Bosnia.
Yeah.
And Bosnia hasn't had like a good World Cup. But the thing is, every team at the World Cup is playing every game like it's a World Cup final. So when some people go like, it's 48 teams, they're going to be small teams. No, my friend, when Curaçao is playing, that's the biggest game of their lives.
Yeah.
When Cape Verde is playing, that's their World Cup final.
I think maybe that's something people forget, whether actively, like subconsciously or consciously. I think a lot of people forget how many teams are at the World Cup not because they were chosen, but because they won.
Yes, they won. They earned
like
their place.
Every team is here because they won. But I think sometimes people make it seem like, that's cute. They went and fetched Cape Verde. That's cute. They think it's like a Cinderella story. Like
Azerbaijan is here.
Yeah, like America's Got Talent or something. It's like, no. This is like an active story. But this is why I think like Turkey's really going to have to. There's going to be a lot of what do they call it? There's going to be a post-mortem.
Yeah, so Vincenzo Montella, the coach, is certainly going to lose his job.
Yeah,
and I loved him as a player.
It's going to be massive because here you have a team that maybe wasn't expected to win the whole thing by their fans, but the fans expected
at least to make
a late run.
Rounds, yes.
A late run. Because of the expanded format, by the way.
Yes.
Because of the expanded format, there's actually a high expectation on teams because there are easier games, there are easier moments in groups.
Also, you don't have just to finish second.
Exactly.
Yes.
There's 8 third-place teams are going to go through. So their fans are saying, yeah, we didn't expect everything, but we expected something. And then you've got that happening. And I find it interesting how I think a lot of the pressure is compounded by the fact that this is also the World Cup. It's like the Cinderella World Cup.
Yes.
So it would be one thing if Turkey was losing their games and that was that. It's something else when you're a Turkish fan watching your team lose its games while Curaçao is scoring against Germany, while they're getting a draw against Ecuador, while Cape Verde is getting a draw against Spain, while you're watching Japan go toe-to-toe with the Netherlands, thrashing Tunisia, while you're watching clubs, Team USA.
Also, the embarrassing
turning into prime Barcelona.
Also, I feel like the second game they lost was very embarrassing because Paraguay were reduced. Paraguay, first of all, had lost to the US badly.
Yeah.
So they went like, oh, this is a game we should be able to win. Because you went like, okay, maybe Australia sucker punched them because they dominated that game.
Yeah.
They created all the chances. So you went like, okay, that's a bad day at the office, we got sucker punched. But if you watch Uruguay get dominated the way they were dominated by the US, you went like, oh, this should be a cakewalk for Turkey. They lose 1-0. Paraguay plays most of the game, 10 men, because Miguel Almirón was sent off for that.
Yeah.
And still Turkey couldn't find a way.
By the way, do you think that should be a red card offense?
I think it should be. I think
why?
FIFA is saying you should say it with your chest.
I don't think it should be a red card.
Say it with your chest. No, because when you do this,
I don't think
and
it
you know
should be a
where
red
it comes
card.
from. It comes from Vinny.
Yeah, but I don't think it should be a red card.
No, I think it should be. I think it should be because when you say...
I think it should be a yellow card. Okay, let me tell you why.
Okay.
For me, a red card, and I'll preface this by saying, I choose this because of when the rule was enforced.
Okay.
Whenever there's a new rule in football, I think we shouldn't take for granted how reflexive so many actions are in the game.
Yes.
Okay. Athletes all over the world have gotten very comfortable doing this. Even on the bench, when they speak to each other, they do this. Watch the New York Knicks at the victory parade. They're doing this the whole time. They're speaking to each other because they don't want their lips to be read. Okay. You get taught to do this. Put your hand in front of your mouth. Put your hand in front of your mouth. Now, it's a new rule that gets brought into the World Cup a few months before the World Cup, not like years before.
Yes.
Right? So you don't get to play it in the leagues. You get to the World Cup. There's a moment. You just do your default. You put your hand. It's instinctive. Red card. I think it should be a yellow because the game itself, is disrupted so much by this decision that you should give a nation an opportunity to be like, oh no, that person, you know what I mean?
Also, by the Miguel Almirón, one of the nicest guys in the game. I hate agreeing with you, but now that you put it like that, you're going like, oh, there should be an off ramp.
Because also, and it would be fine.
I agree with you.
Know what? Even if they said to the opponent, what did he say to you? Even if the opponent said, no, he said something about my mother or whatever, it's fine. Yellow card.
No, I agree with you.
But
I hate it, but I agree with you. Yes.
If the player says he said something racist, then the ref can say red card.
No, because that was the origin of the rule.
Yes.
Vinny said Preciani said something racist.
Yes.
Preciani said I didn't say anything racist.
And you can't prove it.
The referee couldn't prove it because Preciani had. But the thing is, where I agree with you, and I hate it. I hate this moment. Where I agree with you is the off-ramp. This was a decision. This was a rule created basically 2-3 months ago.
Yes.
And the players have been doing this their whole lives.
Yeah.
Because even Messi, when Messi's
it's like taking your shirt off after you celebrate.
Yes.
You can't go to red card.
There should have been an off-ramp.
You know what I mean? You can't go red card for time wasting. And I mean, now time wasting is more common. People understand it. But I think there are certain things where we forget that it's just part of the game.
It was a very reactive rule as well. It reacted to a particular incident because that incident involved a star player.
Do you remember when they said only captains can speak to the referee?
Yes.
They made a new rule. the players can't swarm the ref. Only the captains can speak to the referee. Players still ran to the referee.
Yes.
And then they said, we'll give you a yellow card for this. Imagine if they said red.
Oh, the other rule as well was you can't ask for a yellow card.
Yes.
And players, every time they are fouled,
yeah, they would do this.
Yes, and
then they would get yellows.
Yes.
But then over time, they stopped doing it. Except Vinicius. They stopped doing it. But imagine if it was, guys, red cards are such... A red card for me is such an egregious offense.
It changes the dynamic of the game, changes the complexion, conditions the whole game. The good thing for Paraguay is it didn't cost them. Ultimately,
and that's
in the game.
now we're going back. Imagine if you're a Turkey fan going, these guys got a red card.
But I have a question for you. Turkey and Tunisia, who is having a worse World Cup?
Turkey.
Turkey?
Yeah, Turkey.
Because Tunisia fired their coach after losing 5-0. And we'll say they improved because they lost 4-0.
But Turkey's having a worse one because Turkey had, look at the team. Look at the team, look at the footballing heritage, they're in a moment. Turkey's having the worst one.